All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Syde versus KiWiKaKi. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. I need to speed up my transitions between games. It seems like I always get a major drop off in views if I take a little bit too long. But then again, hopefully everyone who's sticking around is enjoying the content I'm providing them. As this game, well, is between Syde and KiWiKaKi from France versus the World Main Event that I believe Todd put together or was heavily involved in, to say the least. Anyways, let's go ahead and head over here to the bottom left-hand side of the map. We see Syde spawning as, well, the red undead. Over here on the top right, we are looking at KiWiKaKi spawning as the blue orc. And this is already something that I've noticed that is quite different. Long attention span is longer than the norm, yeah. And let's take a look at this. If you take a look at the building placement, this may actually be a direct counter to the Crypt Lord and all of those beetles. Altar of Darkness, we'll see if it is going to be a Crypt Lord first. No, it is going to be a Dreadlord. Dreadlord first, coming in from Syde. But back over here, the orc players purposely placing down an early war mill very close to their trees, and also being able to, well, limit the amount of space in the back here. What you want to make sure is that beetles, if they try to get in here, it's going to be rather tight. No other units can engage, and with orc burrows being positioned in this manner, the two orc burrows can cover each other, and will try and deal damage to those orc beetles and finish them off before they burrow. Coming back over here to the bottom left, Dreadlord is going to be coming on out. There is that Tomb of Relics. Most likely we will see a sacrificial skull for Blight. We'll also need to pay close attention to see if the Altar of Darkness is actually going to be unsummoned, as we are looking at a 6th Acolyte here trying to set up an expansion. Alright, Acolyte is not unsummoning that Altar of Darkness. Units are now making their way out. Peon is right over here, and the Acolyte is just purposely hanging back as the Peon is just doing a bit of scouting here on Northern Isles. A great time for WarCraft 3 when Dreadlord versus Farseer in Orc versus Undead is no longer weird in the matchup, then realizes it's not Cryptlord. Well, that's the thing. I like WarCraft 3. One of the things that I really like about WarCraft 3 is that there's permanence in your decision. Unlike in StarCraft 2, you know, you can do tech swaps and tech changes, you can react and respond a little bit, but in Warcraft 3, your first hero choice is your first hero choice. If you are specifically going for something to try and counter your opponent's first hero, and your opponent doesn't go for that particular first hero, well, it makes you look a little bit silly. But at the same time, if your opponent did go for that particular first hero, well, that is something that you need to be aware of as well. One thing to note, this is game 1 in this series, so it is important to note to see if I do cast these other games, whether or not in the second game it does become a Crypt Lord going up against, say, a Blade Master, as KiWiKaKi may think to himself, you know what? He went for he went for that Dreadlord first. Maybe he'll go for Dreadlord again. And I really want to see, I really want to have a Blade Master in this matchup. Anyways, you may, I don't know. The meta, you have more. I'm not today, but you have control over the games I cast. So yes, I may. Anyways, coming back through Farseer, now coming in to engage ghouls, now looking to back away. Dreadlord trying to escape back here, as the ghouls could finish off some of the, Spirit Wolves could finish off some of the ghouls pretty quickly. Coming back down here, we are looking at one Nerubian tower already up. Haunted Goldmine is established, as well as Acolytes are already getting ready to haunt and, well, mine from that gold mine. We are looking at headhunters coming in as well, and we are still looking at Farseer mass headhunters in this matchup, even though it isn't Cryptlord. I tried to be more subtle than that. Anyways, Dreadlord still wandering around here. Talisman of Evasion. The Altar of Darkness was in fact unsummoned earlier, as we are sitting at tier 1. There is one Nerubian tower here, Haunted Goldmine, and the damage on these headhunters rather high, and because it is piercing, well, piercing damage still does full damage to this gold mine while it is under construction. All these acolytes of Syde could end up getting taken down pretty quickly. There's a sleep onto one unsuspecting. There is a carrion swarm eating through multiple units as we are looking at a very fast Goblin Alchemist as that second hero. Alright, so Goblin Alchemist coupled with the Farseer, and this may be some sort of particular acid bomb strategy, but KiWiKaKi's Alchemist sleeping on the job, and somehow the Alchemist was able to escape with like a 7 unit surround up against trees. All right, Syde, perhaps a little bit upset about that one. That Alchemist was gift wrapped with a bow for the death and somehow able to escape. And Syde has to be a little bit upset about that, as we're going to see a web spinner now fall down here in just a moment. Alright, Syde's Dreadlord will in fact get to level 3. Level 2 Carrion Swarm could be coming into play. Acid Bomb, that main ability. KiWiKaKi is going to be able to use Acid Bomb coupled with the Headhunter's Focus Fire to really deal a large amount of damage. You can see that Goblin Overseer already down to 0 armor after that well, a little bit of Acid Bomb there. So Acid Bomb coupled with Focus Fire could be very powerful, considering the fact that ghouls have very, very low hit points. That damage would add up very, very fast. Syde about to establish up his expansion here in just a moment. About to be completed, and I think that little bit of delay that KiWiKaKi did, I don't think he expects to do another round of that. Warmail. Are we sitting at tier 2? Yes, we are. No upgrade on damage as of yet. We are going into Spirit Walkers, though. So perhaps... Oh, Carrion Swarm now coming through, eating through many of those Headhunters there. Carrion Swarm at level 2 does deal large bits of damage. Illusion now trying to back away. Units trying to get back as well, as we're looking at the Headhunters who did take the brunt of that Carrion Swarm, trying to retreat and heal back up at home. Alright, little bit of extra experience for that Farseer and that Goblin Alchemist. Oh, was that a steal? I believe the Dreadlord actually stole that there, but the Book of the Dead did belong to that Alchemist. Alright, Dreadlord with long distance steals on that Carrion Swarm, dealing large bits of damage as the Alchemist finally gets to level 2. Units trying to retreat back, large number of ghouls, and we are going into a necropolis and a tomb of relics at the expansion location. Fighting under Blight does give the undead a major advantage in healing, natural regeneration for those ghouls, as the ghouls also fighting away down across here. Now, Syde is known for going solo Dreadlord to call down Infernals, and, well, being able to get in a little bit of extra damage. Also, a Sobi Mask on that Dreadlord, coupled with a Pendant of Energy. We could have Carrion Swarm for days, as there's no way to really take away mana from the Dreadlord under an Orc army. Alright, Alchemist needing quite a bit of mana in order to heal back up this army, keep himself alive. Healing Salve should be able to do exactly that, and I believe the Farseer is going home exactly for that here. Alright, Carrion Swarm, Dreadlord sitting at 170 mana. Is he going to be able to get off a big Carrion Swarm here? He is invisible, as you can tell. Are we going to be looking at lining up that bit of damage right here, trying to get in that damage? There's that Carrion Swarm, but does not get it on the Alchemist. He does pick up the item, though. I believe he picks up the item, which is a Wand of Illusion, as that, well, the Illusion now going to go ahead and do a bit of scouting. Alright, Sacrificial Pit getting added in, Slaughterhouse getting added in, Altar of Darkness getting, well, added back, as we are going into the Death Knight as that second hero. Dreadlord trying to retreat, as the Spirit Wolves going to be able to get in a lot of damage here. And now the Headhunters, I believe Troll Berserker upgrades should be getting underway. And soon, as the Troll Berserker upgrade does grant a large amount of damage bonus to this army from KiWiKaKi. Alright, Spirit Towers down across over here. Dreadlord now making its way back down as well. Alchemist going to be getting in position, as the Headhunters now making their way down again. Alright, Farseer, Spirit Wolves getting in position here. Alchemist trying to engage again, as, well, in comes that carrion swarm eating through many of those units in the back. Meanwhile, units are going to try and shift away once again. Spirit Link, however, going to make that carrion swarm not nearly as effective, as that damage is going to be spread out across multiple units. And we can see that KiWiKaKi is purposely trying to move his units in a way to where that carrion swarm isn't going to just line up and focus down so many of those units. All right, Dreadlord is actually catching himself in a really strange spot as the Spirit Wolves will let that Dreadlord through. There's that carrion swarm ripping through multiple units. Death Coil onto a Crypt Fiend to try and save, as the Dreadlord still has a potion of mana ready to go. All right, carrion swarm is, well, still on cooldown, needing another 8 seconds. Is he going to drop that pendant and then pick it back up after using that potion of mana? That is going to be another carrion swarm ripping through right there. Damage still adding in. Death Coil saving that Dreadlord from near death, as more Book of the Dead coming in from KiWiKaKi to cause a little bit more surrounding again. Spirit Wolves still chasing once again. Dreadlord perhaps waiting to land another carrion swarm again, as we are looking at the Spirit Wolves, well, Spirit Link across all of the archers as well. So even the archers sharing in some of that damage. Are we going to see this carrion swarm come through slow on the Dire Wolf, actually slowing the Dreadlord as well, as carrion swarm is ripping through this back line of units. All right, more damage coming across here. The Spirit Walkers do not want to go into the Ethereal Realm. Death Coil onto that Spirit Walker, Death Coil, excuse me, as the Spirit Walker is retreating once more. All right, Carrion Swarm, the Berserkers are just trying to constantly run away from all of that damage, as we are looking at Banshees getting added in as well. Where is that Dreadlord perhaps going to try to run off to? Another Carrion Swarm comes across multiple units, but now we are low on mana, as the Dreadlord has no way to really deal with this wide army. We need to see more potions of mana. Temples of the Dam taking quite a bit of damage here, but as you can tell, it is not going to fall easily, since, well, it is fortified armor. Units are still fighting their way through, and we are looking at more, well, Berserkers getting taken down. Obsidian statues now out onto the field in order to provide a little bit of healing. Pendant of Energy picked up. Potion of Mana is available. That Temple of Dam is going to end up falling. There is that Carrion Swarm right there, as the Spirit Walker could get taken down, and no, down to 18 hit points and falling rather quickly still, as the Spirit Walker, well, going to try and hide in the Ethereal Realm. There it goes, unable to dodge the Carrion Swarm while there. Meanwhile, Alchemist going to continue to use that healing spray, healing up more of these Berserkers again. It is healing spray versus Carrion Swarm, as the Spirit Walker is in fact resurrected from another Spirit Walker. All right, Spirit Walker having plenty of mana ready to go. We are at mastery training on those Spirit Walkers, hence the reason why they're able to get back up again. More Carrion Swarm coming through across multiple units again, as the Dreadlord sitting at level 3. The mana and the use of that AoE, very powerful, as we now see the Lich joining in on the fight. All right, Dreadlord able to escape. No, he is not. Unable to do so. A couple of attacks in the back as the Dreadlord falls at level 3.
A player's forces are under attack.
I thought the Lich's Frost Nova would slow down the attacks of some of those Berserkers enough, but, well, did not happen. Dreadlord got next to the Obsidian statue, but the Death Knight, without enough mana for a Death Coil, now needing to resurrect that Dreadlord at level 3. So far, we are looking at 66 supply compared to 50. Syde has the larger army by far, as we are looking at perhaps, yes, a pocket Great Hall coming in from KiWiKaKi. Down across over here, Spirit Link still cast Alchemist, well, looking to get higher up in level. Talisman of Evasion now picked up by the Alchemist. I thought he had it earlier, as we are also getting up a couple of, well, watchtowers and burrows, some defensive structures to try and protect. Death Knight sitting at level 2. Lich could get to level 2 here as well. Ghouls going to make their way back off to the north, as Obsidian statues providing hit points and mana to all of these units now. Taurens are slowly getting added in, and it doesn't seem that big of a surprise when, well, you already have mastery training Spirit Walkers. At that stage, adding in a little bit, adding a 1 or 2 Taurens into the fight is actually great news, as they'll be able to get back up again, and the headhunters will be able to shut down any destroyers that try to make their way out. Destroyers not as strong against Taurens, since they were nerfed in the recent patch from Reforged. Destroyers were always a go-to must-have unit, And because of how strong they were, it almost made Undead a little bit too predictable. Now, with the destroyers not nearly as strong, it actually makes sense to try and go Frost Worms to deal with your opponent's well, heavy frontline unit, their Taurens, their Knights, and their Abominations. We'll see what is going to end up unfolding here. We are going to be getting up Abominations with Disease Cloud. There is that Boneyard for Frostworms, exactly what I expected to see to deal with the Tauren. Also, they're able to slow down the attack of those Berserkers as well with that AoE Frost, and that is incredibly important, just slowing down their attack speed. Dreadlord currently out onto the field. Death Knight, is it going to get to level 3? No, wandering around the back, could get to level 3 off of this Shaman here. Lich should not be able to get to level 3. Death Knight should be able to get there. There it goes. Getting up to level 3, now having access to level 2 Death Coil, which should improve that Dreadlord's chances of staying alive. Alright, coming back down to the south, Spirit Wolf did catch sight of that Frostworm. Frostworm's range attack is actually rather low compared to the Berserkers, so the Berserkers will always be in range. But then again, the Berserkers, well, significantly less hit points. Death Coil is now coming across. Death Knight, Crystal Ball, Jangle of Endurance Aura, faster attack speed, faster movement speed, both with Unholy Aura and that Endurance Aura. Alright, expansion down over here by the bottom right. Syde will not be able, or Syde will be able to set that up. Tauren Chieftain now going to make its way in across here. Are we going to see some engagement? There you go. Frostworm really just slowing things down. Meanwhile, the Berserkers are all right there as a stomp comes down onto the Abomination. Spirit Link trying to engage as well. Are we going to perhaps see the Dreadlord try to line up a couple of big carrion swarms? There they go through that main center unit as the Lich and Frost Nova is also going to start becoming a problem as well. Stomp coming in. Tauren Chieftain now pretty much out of mana. Crypt Fiend now trying to back away. Destroyers are here, devouring all of that precious Spirit Link, and that is important, eating up some of that Spirit Link as well. 67 supply compared to 58. Syde actually not liking the position he's fighting in, losing an Abomination, and right as the Scroll of Town Portal picks them away. Lich sitting at level 3, Death Knight at level 3, Dreadlord at level 4. That Dreadlord looks like he's running so fast just because of those two auras, and he has somewhere he wants to go. Alright, heading back over here, Tauren Chieftain now shifting again, and perhaps Syde wanting to get some necessary items. Necropolis is about to be done, Haunted Goldmine about to be done as well, and in comes the engagement. Necropolis going to be taking some damage here. Are we going to perhaps be getting some carrion swarms? There's some Devour magic as the units are looking to engage here. Necropolis, however, will finish in time. There it goes, but now it can easily get destroyed with no repairs getting underway. That is going to be a problem. Alright, more Devour magic coming back across. Spirit Walkers, Carrion Swarm ripping through, Healing Spray trying to counteract again, and the Acolytes are not making their way over to even do any mining. Syde does have a little bit of blight here, but that is pretty much it. And as the Spirit Walkers, well, as they building or disenchant here, that blight might end up getting taken away. Syde losing quite a bit of gold. Hey, hello Egypt. Wow, super international here. Cheers from Poland, and I believe there's well, plenty of viewers here as well. And I'm surprised. What else is going to be unfolding? Dreadlord looking to pick up some items from the marketplace, perhaps sell some items as well. 2 Frostworms in the air, 77 supply compared to 76. KiWiKaKi now up with his own expansion. Syde needs to find a way to follow up as that expansion only has 5 minutes of mining left. Alright, Ninja expansion over here on the top left hand side of the map. Is KiWiKaKi going to spot that? Tauren Chieftain also still only sitting at level 1 at this stage, so Stomp is not yet as scary. We are looking at the units of getting ready to engage here in just a moment. Death Coil onto that Tauren Chieftain in that front line. Healing Spray to try and counteract that as well, as the Obsidian statues still have plenty of mana. Alright, Death Knight getting ready to go. Brilliance Aura on that Death Knight. Alright, so Brilliance Aura also for those Obsidian statues. That is going to be incredibly important. Oftentimes, Obsidian statues run out of mana so quickly that it only makes sense to turn them into destroyers. With that Brilliance Aura, the Obsidian statues should be able to to keep everyone topped off and then be topped off on their own, as the Brilliance Aura is going to be helping keep mana into some of these units as well. Moving back off to the north here, Haunted Goldmine about to be scouted out by Spirit Wolves. I believe they were in fact scouted out, as the Dire Spirit Wolves trying to get away. Well, going to easily get taken down. Units going to be coming in from behind. A Shade is keeping track of the army, as the Spirit Walkers are looking for a fight. All right, where are we going to be going in next? Here we are. Frostworms are in position. Devour Magic trying to remove some of that, well, Scroll of Speed and some of that also precious Spirit Link, as the Taurens getting taken down very fast. Front line in a great position. Meanwhile, Death Knight trying to fight their way through. Stomp pretty much missing all of their targets there, as damage is going through. Couple of early units lost here, as the Farseer may be forced to try to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Yes, uses it just in time, as that Tauren is resurrected. All right, resurrecting the Tauren right before a Scroll of Town Portal is executed in order to get away. Meanwhile, Syde does not have any acolytes over here on the top left as of yet. Okay, units now making their way over. One acolyte going to be shifting off to the north here. Syde sitting on 77 supply. KiWiKaKi sitting on 78. We are looking at triple destroyers. Some of the obsidian statues, or all of the obsidian statues from earlier, were actually transformed into destroyers. They are upgraded 3-0, and it is important that they remove that Spirit Link. But with the number of headhunters out from KiWiKaKi, Syde may end up regretting that decision later. The obsidian statue is trying to provide a little bit of healing death coil, saving some of those destroyers as well, but there may be an engagement over here on the top left with no additional spirit towers for support. Down over here, a Great Hall under duress by a lone ghoul. That ghoul is able to deal a fair bit of damage since it attacks quickly, but the remaining ghouls will show up, providing a bit of support. All right, Lich right there. Little bit of negative armor to be had. Syde going now into high upkeep, 83 over 90. Does he stop mining? No, he is not. Acolytes now making their way out, as we now see an engagement here. Tauren Chieftain trying to line up a stomp. Are we going to be seeing some Devour Magic? Carrion Swarm now ripping through Healing Spray, as a couple of Crypt Queens are slowed down. All right, Destroyer should be able to devour some magic. Once again, Lich could be in trouble. Death Coil onto that Lich, as the unit's going to try and fight and engage. This is a narrow passageway and difficult to line things up, as the Spirit Walker easily gets taken down. Obsidian Statue getting taken down there as well. Two Obsidian Statues in the back, as the Spirit Walkers are just getting resurrected. Dark Ritual keeping mana onto that Lich, as that Lich is going to try and fight back again. Dreadlord continuing to fight through, but the Healing Spray on the Alchemist really keeping the units alive much longer than I thought they would. And Healing Spray with Spirit Link just makes a lot of sense. Being able to heal up multiple units, as all of that unit is spread, or all of that damage is spread across multiple units again, as the Destroyer is getting ensnared and will get taken down. Level 5 now on that Alchemist. It is going to be level 3 Healing Spray, keeping all of these units alive and well. Heading back off to the north here, Death Knight going to try and lead the charge, sitting at level 4, gets up to level 5, level 2 Unholy Aura most likely in position. Dreadlord making its way back as well, trying to line up the Carrion Swarms, but the Dreadlord is just constantly not able to get good Carrion Swarms here. Is it going to try to line one up here? There goes a Carrion Swarm, but a Stomp, mid-Stomp, as we're looking at Healing Spray coming back across again. Abominations trying to retreat back. Crypt Fiends here back on Blight again, as the Death Knight needs to, well, figure out a way to keep his front line alive and well. All of this constant healing back and forth. Dreadlord maybe trying to get off another Carrion Swarm in a couple of seconds. Another Spirit Walker gets back up, but the ensnares landing onto the Destroyers, causing so many problems. There goes that Destroyer again. All right. The Destroyer is pretty much ensnared and dropped to the ground. That is a major issue. Expansion over here on the top left. Nothing is mining there. Death Coil, Frost Nova, Carrion Swarm. Not enough to finish off the Raider, as that Raider had Spirit Link. All right, Obsidian Statues still trying to retreat back. Obsidian Statues, well, unable to easily heal this Abomination, as the Death Knight may be forced to use a Death Coil, not yet at level 5 though, so not healing up that full 600 amount. Follow-up ensnares, Dark Ritual, getting in more mana onto that Lich once again. The Lich wants to fight its way back, get to level 4, get a better Dark Ritual, and then start melting away with all of this nuking ability. The Lich continuing to fight its way through. Tauren Chieftain using a Potion of Healing, Crypt Fiend getting stomped and then stunned to death, and the Abomination is trying to spread out more Disease Cloud. Lich gets up to level 4 now. The Dreadlord sitting at level 5. Carrion Swarm ripping through. Tauren getting back up as the Frost Nova finds some targets again. Carrion Swarm, well, there goes another pulverized right there as damage is adding in. 69 supply compared to 83. KiWiKaKi pushing back very heavily as Syde is back on Blight, but it looks like KiWiKaKi now has Syde up against the ropes as they are fighting through here. All right, Obsidian Statues trying to make their way back. Dreadlord trying to get in position off to the side here. Are we going to see a Carrion Swarm? Yes, they are. That cooldown is the major downside right now. If that Dreadlord was just able to constantly throw out Carrion Swarm after Carrion Swarm, well, the Alchemist would run out of mana faster. Dreadlord is in a little bit of trouble. Another Carrion Swarm rips on through again. Death Knight is in position here. Tauren is just so difficult to take out, even with all of these units next to each other, as we are looking at the Alchemist. There goes another Carrion Swarm. Frost Nova finishing off some units. Are we starting to finally see Syde being able to deal some damage? But is it too little, too late, as the Tauren are just constantly getting resurrected as well? All right, Spirit Walker is getting resurrected. That Tauren was not resurrected, didn't have enough mana. Frost Nova down on the Tauren Chieftain, as the Death Knight is still trying to lead the charge here. All right, Lich is in position here. Crypt Fiends finding their way through, and multiple Troll Berserkers lost there. 50 supply compared to 48, and all of a sudden, it's an even game once again. Dreadlord could be in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal is going to be used as we are looking at the Alchemist. Is it going to try and back up? Where is that unit going to go? Yes, the attacks are back again. Acolytes were trying to shift back off to the north, but, well, is it going to be able to find anything? One Troll Berserker being left behind. Death Knight is getting resurrected. Troll Berserker still sitting off over here as the Acolytes are going to make their way off to the north. Lich going to be able to perhaps get off some Frost Novas. Dreadlord does have a potion, another potion of mana, and really, all of a sudden, KiWiKaKi feels like it is overextending his stay as that last Troll Berserker is saved with a teleportation. Acolytes down across over here are going to be able to still do a bit of mining. Those Spirit Wolves do quite a bit of damage. 2-on-1 fight once again. Acolytes just trying to dodge every which way once more, as it is one base to one base. All right, ghouls trying to protect those acolytes. Acolyte just trying to dance away from those ghouls, dance away from those Spirit Wolves, unable to do exactly that. Dreadlord sitting at 5, almost at level 6. Lich sitting at level 4. Death Knight sitting at level 4, should be resurrected in the next, well, nope, not quite soon, as we're still having resurrection on that Tauren Chieftain as well. Tauren Chieftain level 3. KiWiKaKi sitting at, well, a couple of Tauren, I believe actually one Tauren body, was it left behind here? Or was it resurrected? It looks like it was actually resurrected, as the unit's going to try and engage. Spirit Wolf easily taken down. Dreadlord getting that much closer to level 6. Once the Lich gets to level 5 and the Death Knight gets to level 5, this army is going to feel significantly weaker, as one round of cooldowns are going to take down a Berserker in no time flat. And as that damage starts to build up, since the Frost Nova and that Carrion Swarm have AoE effects, well, it is just going to go from bad to worse. Death Knight now back out onto the field. Brilliance Aura, important for providing all of that extra mana. Double Obsidian Statues as well. And Syde is going to line himself up. KiWiKaKi, however, does have a larger army indeed. But is it going to match the Undead's hero nuking ability? It is so close to level 5 that it is difficult to tell. And with the Dreadlord almost at level 6, being able to get that stun off of the Inferno for an extra bit of damage is incredibly important as well. We're looking at, well, Abominations joining in on the fight. 56 supply compared to 74. Spirit Wolf once again makes its way after these Acolytes. Acolytes are just trying to mine at a gold mine, but it doesn't look like they will be able to devour magic. Spirit Wolf, is it going to give a little bit of experience? Yes, it will. Dreadlord getting, well, that much closer again, but still no level for that Lich, who is currently 31 experience shy from level 5. It really does come down to whether or not the undead heroes get to level 5. Once the undead heroes are at level 5, all bets are off on who's going to win this battle. KiWiKaKi 74 going up against a 63 supply army. One peon just trying to make its way through, but a ghoul is going to be able to easily scout this out and perhaps take this down. All right, units now making their way through. Spirit Walkers trying to cast some Spirit Link. That's going to get devoured if there is currently one destroyer, and that is it. And the Raider is going to be right there trying to... Well, there's that Devour Magic. Are we going to see an ensnare? Yes, we do. As we could be seeing an engagement here. Syde cannot leave behind this destroyer. He needs the destroyers desperately. And, well, that's going to be a problem there, leaving behind that destroyer. A little bit of... He needed to force the engagement. He needed to be in a better spot. As the... Well, Tauren Chieftain already taken down, melted in a matter of seconds. Abomination going to get taken down here. Death Knight and Lich now both sitting at level 5. Are we going to be looking at multiple Frost Novas along that back line? As we see a Frost Nova right there. Carrion Swarm could be following it up, finishing off more units, and that damage is just going to continue to add up more and more. Death Knight actually being used to heal more. Farseer getting up to level 6 as well. Alchemist is also at level 6, so we also have Transmute. Right, Carrion Swarm continuing to eat through. Let's see, there's the Infernal. More damage coming on in. AoE damage could have been added in again. Lich perhaps going to finish off some more units, and there goes Tauren Chieftain, or Taurens as well. Tauren Chieftain already gone. Infernal in that frontline spot. Another major Frost Nova, another Carrion Swarm, and, well, Tauren after Tauren is going to fall. Chain Lightning trying to bounce around. 53 supply compared to 37. Undead army is rather small, but it still has the heroes in that frontline spot, and the Taurens are still resurrected. Chain Lightning still bouncing around here. Lich is going to be able to Dark Ritual and perhaps get a little bit more mana. The Death Knight still fighting its way through. Syde needing to back up here, healing spray onto that Alchemist, and I believe that Transmute still has, well, needs a little bit more gold or a little bit more time for Transmute to get into, well, take down some more of those units again. All right, does cost quite a bit of mana for that Transmute, and there is no high priority targets for that ability as of yet. No destroyers in the air, no abominations on the ground, as we're looking at, well, the Dreadlord finishing off another Berserker. 47 supply compared to 27. However, the destroyers are devouring magic off of those Spirit Wolves rather easily. There goes another Tauren taken down. Death Coil healing up the Infernal, so the Infernal also dealing major damage as well. Dreadlord, does the Dreadlord actually have sleep? It does have sleep. It is not sleeping any of the units, as the Farseer is now attempting to get away. There is that Alchemist. Alchemist is going to get woken up here in just a moment. Yes, it will. And it is going to try and break free here in just a moment. Down to 200 hit points, and there it goes. Taken down again. All right, that is the good game. And what looked like an easy battle for KiWiKaKi with the larger army, well, all of a sudden, hero nuking, as I predicted. Once the Lich and the Death Knight got to level 5, and that Tauren Chieftain was just melted in a moment, well, Syde could just try and win with 3 heroes and all of that damage. Frost Nova and Carrion Swarm were used. That Death Knight's Death Coil wasn't even really used for nuking, as it was for 600 hit point heals. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.